Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That's the go-getter energy that moves you to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one bundle, one method, one mindset, one message, one philosophy, one book. Yes, there is a book, one show, one audio masterclass experience that you are experiencing right now that is known as Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic is the key to building relationships, and that key is time. You build relationships with investments of time. People always ask me, whether it be in the business world, I get this question a lot. And in the basketball world, I still get this question a lot, especially from athletes who are looking to ascend to a higher level. Usually the collegiate level, where they may want to get a scholarship or an opportunity to walk on to a college team, or at the professional level, where you can't just walk in the building, where you have to be invited, signed, and wanted by somebody, even to get an opportunity. And people always ask me about connections. That's the word that a lot of people use. Like, Dre, do you have any connections that I could borrow? Or how do I get? People ask, how can I get some connections that can help me know the right people to advance myself in this industry, to advance myself in my sport, to get myself an opportunity in the thing that I'm doing, or just even to get information. Sometimes you need connections just to get the right information, right? To know what's going on, to get answers to your questions. Now, I want you to know that this is a very good question to ask. It's a good question to ask, who is the person who has the information? Who's the person who can help me get on? Who is the person that can help me achieve this outcome, because I probably can't do it myself, or wouldn't be efficient for me to do it myself? To ask the question who is a good question. It is an open-ended question. It opens you to possibilities that we talked about a couple days ago in an episode on keeping power in your own hands. Knowing the right people for advancing yourself and what you want to do can help you get ahead much faster than doing all the right things yourself, because the limitation that we have as human beings is that we can only do one thing at a time. We can only be in one place at a time. And none of us is just fully potent at everything. None of us is great at everything. So if you're trying to do everything yourself, I guarantee you that you're going to be mediocre at some of that everything. All right, guaranteed. Because none of us is just excellent at everything that we do. So it's a very good question to ask, who's the person who could actually help me and help me get this done much quicker, much faster, or get it done, period, because I can't do it on my own. Okay? The fact of the matter is, relationships are the easiest way for you to get information, access, help, and to get your foot in the door for whatever it is you're after in life. All right, so if you're looking for some way to create a relationship, you're a smart individual. This is a very good thing to be looking for. However, I must also let you know, those connections that you're looking for, that way to get your foot in the door, that access, that information, all right, those connections that will produce those are built and paid for through the most valuable resource you have access to. And that most valuable resource is not your credit score or the numbers in your bank account. That most valuable resource is your time, the 24 hours that you have in a day. You want to build relationships. You want to have connections. You want to be able to, somebody ask you, hey, you know somebody who does this, and you could just type in some digits on your phone and pull that person up and get that person on the line and make that connection for another person, be that power broker. Or you want to be able to make that connection for yourself when you want something done, because you know people in different places in every aspect of life. If you want that, you got to pay for it. And the way that you pay for it is by putting that time into building those relationships. That's what we're talking about here today. So let's get into it. Point number one, the topic once again, the key to building relationships in life is time. Point number one, in masterclass number 609, I told you about the top 5 resources that every human being has access to: time, money, attention, energy, and focus. For you to get anywhere that you want to get in life, you must put all 5 of these investments in: your time, your money, your attention, your energy, and your focus. And if you have not put in one of those investments into something that you're working on right now, I guarantee you have not gotten the full return on that investment yet, because you haven't made the full investment just yet. Time is the most valuable of those 5 resources because it is the least replaceable. You can replace money. You run out of money, you can get more. All right. You lose a friend, you can make another one. All right. You run out of energy, go to sleep. You'll have some more energy when you wake up. Attention and focus are, your attention can be running short for a moment, but you put your attention on something else, all of a sudden your attention pops back up because you're interested in whatever that thing is. When you invest your time, however, with anyone, they know unconsciously that you are giving the only resource that you cannot get back. And that has a whole lot of value. See, if I was to give you my time, if I was to sit down and just talk to you for an hour, you may not consciously be thinking about it, but unconsciously you understand the hour that I spend sitting and talking with you, I cannot be sitting and talking with somebody else at the exact same time, or unless we're having a 3-person conversation. But if I'm talking to you one-on-one, that hour, I cannot give it to anything else. If I give you $100 in cash, I can go make $100 back by just selling something. All right, so it might not be as valuable to me as it is to you, that $100. So the money can come and go very quickly. Time does not come and go quickly. All right, it goes at the same pace for everybody, and we all got the same amount to invest. So when someone invests time with you, they're giving you the most valuable thing that they have. You may think their money is more valuable than their time, but it's actually not. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. Time is always more valuable than money. So when you hear somebody say time is money, that's not true. Time is more than money. Time is life. That value that you are exchanging or giving when you give your time, compounded over time, it builds equity in a relationship. So if you want to build a relationship with anyone, what you need to think about is, how can I give my time to this person in such a way that they understand that I'm really making an investment in them? Giving your money is one way to build a relationship. That could work with some people and in some situations, trust me. But your time is more valuable. All right, any of you have kids? Any of you in a relationship? What's the most valuable aspect of that relationship? It's not that you give money, it's that you give time. I know some women who are single mothers, and the father of their children or child is alive and well, and the father may give money from time to time. Maybe the father gives money all the time. But the most valuable thing that father could give to the relationship in the eyes of the mother and in the eyes of the child is not his money, it's his time. I've never heard a child who grew up without their father say, or even without their mother say, you know what, I didn't grow up with my father in my life, but he gave me so much money, it's cool, I'm good. We got a great relationship because of all the money my father gave me when I was growing up. I've never heard a child say that. Any of you who's listening to this, I'm sure there's someone listening to this who grew up without a father in their life. Did you value the money your father sent every month, or would you have rather valued the time had they been there even without the money? Any of you who's in an intimate relationship, if you have a significant other who isn't around often for whatever reason, maybe because they're working, they got other things going on, or whatever reason, y'all just don't spend time, what would you value more? If that person just wrote you a big check to make up for the time that they're missing, or instead of the money, they were just around more often, so you could invest more in that, so they would invest more in that relationship. You both could invest more in a relationship. You already know the answer to that question. Jennifer Lopez, everybody knows who J-Lo is, right? She had a song way back, probably about 20 years ago. It was called Love Don't Cost a Thing. Now, I'm not a big Jennifer Lopez fan, but this is back in the time when music videos were on TV all the time. So I remember this video coming on. And the way that the video started, you can look this up, it's on YouTube. J-Lo would be out on the beach or whatever, wherever she was, and maybe at her house, this beautiful house. And she's opening up this package, and there's this beautiful diamond bracelet in the package. And then she gets on the phone, and she's apparently talking to her love interest, whoever this person is. And she's saying, yes, I did. Hey, how you doing? Where are you? And she says, yes, I did get the diamond bracelet. It's a beautiful bracelet. And then at the end of the conversation, she says to this person, well, the bracelet is great, but it'd be a lot better if you were here, because the last thing I need is another bracelet. All right, the bracelet doesn't do anything for me the bracelet does not do nearly as much for me as your physical presence would do for me. And then the whole song is all about, if you want me to love you, it's not about you buying me stuff and showing me how much money you got. It's about you actually investing time into this relationship. So in other words, if you go watch Jennifer Lopez's video for Love Don't Cost a Thing, it will give you the exact same message that I'm giving you here on this masterclass. Now, actually, it will be more supplemental. Let's put it that way. The thing is this. That person, whoever that is in your life, whether that be a parent, whether it be a significant other, whether it's a child, whether it's a person that you're cool with, a person you're doing business with, a person you want to have some type of relationship or connection with or to, the time that you invest is much more valuable than anything else that they could give you. And by the examples that I just gave you, you understand that, right? You probably already understood it before I said it. The jewelry and the gifts can't replace presence. There is nothing that you can give to another human being on this planet that replaces a time investment, which is why time is the most valuable investment you can ever make into a relationship. I want you to think about it right now. Think about the people who are closest to you in your life, whether that be a parent of yours, a child, a friend, a business partner, a significant other. Usually, if you think about it, the things that make that person so close, what are the things that make you so close to that person? What are the things that make you so close to if you have a parent, let's say, any of you have as a parent who's older and you know that they don't have, they're not going to be around forever. What's the most valuable thing you want to do to or for that person? You want to spend some time with them. It's not you want to send them some money. It's not you want to buy them something. It's that you want to spend time with them because when they're gone, you won't have any more of that time, right? If you have a significant other and you feel like the relationship isn't as strong as it could be, why is that? It's not because they're not spending enough money on you. It's because you're not spending enough time with that individual. If you have a parent and you feel like the relationship's not as strong as it could be, or there's some conversations that need to be had that have not taken place yet, why is that? It's not because they haven't sent you enough gifts or wrote you enough checks or put enough money in your account. It's because they have not invested enough time. If there's someone who's trying to get in your circle right now, and you don't know that person and you're kind of wary of them, you're not sure they're even worth the investment. Why is that? It's because you haven't put enough time in with that person, or they have not put enough time in with you to show that they're really serious. They're talking and they're saying this and that and maybe doing things, but they haven't really put the time in yet to really have earned your trust. Is this true or is this not true? This is the way that it works in life. The most valuable thing you can give to create any relationship is time. Now, I know this is an inconvenient truth for some of you because some of you are listening to this right now and you want to make a connection with somebody, you want to build a relationship, but you haven't put the time in just yet. And you're like, damn, Dre, this is the only way I can build that relationship is I got to put in time. It's going to take long. It's going to take me a year. It's going to take me months. I need to build a relationship right now. Well, unfortunately, that's not the way that it works. And this is why this unfortunate/inconvenient truth. This is why many people are walking around this world right now. They do have some value to share. They do have some potential within them, yet they can't get it out there. They can't do what they want to do because they don't have the relationships, because they're looking to shortcut everything. They're looking for the quick way to get everything. They're not willing to invest time in any relationships, which is why they don't have any relationships, which is why they can't get things done. Because none of us is great at everything. Most of us are great at a few things, really great at a narrow band of things. Even the most successful people they're great at a narrow band of things. But what makes people highly successful versus people who are very unsuccessful is not that they're greater at more things than the unsuccessful person. Is because, number one, they figured out the things that they should focus on. And number two, they strategically built relationships with people who are great at the things that they need to supplement the things that they're great at. So let me say that in a different way so that you can understand it. Let's take somebody like Oprah Winfrey. All right, Oprah Winfrey is not great at everything. You know what she's great at? She's great at empathy. She's great at having conversations with people, and she's great at getting her message. And her message, what is Oprah's message? We don't really know. Her message is getting other people's message out. That's what Oprah does well. Now, is Oprah great at videography? Is Oprah great at marketing? Is Oprah great at advertising? Is she great at putting together television deals? Probably not. She's probably not great at any of those things, but she has strategic relationships with the people who are great at all of those things. And I guarantee you Oprah has invested time with the people who are great at those things. And that's why Oprah is Oprah, and why I could just say Oprah and you know who I'm talking about. I don't have to give you a description. You don't have to look her up on Wikipedia. Now, you could be the exact same thing in your area, but first of all, you need to figure out what are you great at, focus on giving time to that, and then, all right, what do I need around me? Who do I need around me who can supplement my greatness at this thing that will help my greatness be even greater? And not only would their greatness help me, my greatness helps them. Where can we create a symbiotic relationship where what they're good at helps me and what I'm good at helps them? That's a great question. That is an insightful question. If you didn't listen to my episode on insight, then I suggest you go and check that out. That is masterclass number 1177, insight. The key to going from 1x to 10x in life is the time you got to put into relationships. Ask yourself that insightful question and you'll get some great answers. Then you got to take action on it. All right, just having an answer alone is worth nothing. Point number 2. Today's topic is the key to building relationships: time. Point number 2, in marketing, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 ways to connect with an audience. Any of you out there who has a product to sell or a service to offer and you feel like you don't have the type of audience that you want, you feel like you need to get your message out to more people, you feel like you need to be seen, heard, and known by more people than you are currently seen, heard, and known by. Listen up very closely to what I'm about to tell you. There are two ways to connect with your desired audience, and only two ways. Okay, listen very closely, and you got to master at least one of these. Hopefully you master both of them. All right. One way is you can buy your way into an audience. All right. You know what that means to buy your way into an audience because you see it every single day. All right. Another way of describing it is called advertising. When you see an advertisement, when you're on YouTube and before you watch the video, you got to watch that 30-second ad that you might skip over. That's an advertisement. That is one way to buy your way into an audience. Now you see the same ad over and over and over again. That person is putting themselves in front of you by paying for it. All right. Sponsoring content, a sponsored post. Those are advertisements. That's a way to get in front of a whole bunch of people in a very short period of time. You just got to pay for it. That's all. You pay for the opportunity to be seen by more people. All right. That's one way you can get in front of your desired audience. Okay. So if you have an audience you want to get in front of and you want to get thousands of people to see you really quickly, all you got to do is write a check or connect your bank account to some advertising platform and boom, you can see by a whole lot of people in a very short period of time. All right. That's one way to do it. That's called buying your way in. Here's the other way for you to get yourself seen by an audience of people. You earn your way in. Now, how do you earn your way in front of an audience? You create valuable material, which could take many different forms. Written content, audio content, video content. It could be your physical presence. It could be you helping out people. It could be you making something that's funny, making something informative, making something that's, I don't know, just time sensitive, very something about, I don't know, at the point, remember when the coronavirus is going on, you could talk about that. The Super Bowl is coming up, talk about that. The NBA Finals, talk about that. In whatever format you want, something that is valuable to a specific audience or a specific person, rather. Create valuable material and continue doing so over time consistently, which allows you to build a, keyword, relationship with your target prospects, your target audience, your target individuals. So you can earn your way in or you can buy your way in. You listening to me right now talking, I earned my way into your consciousness. You know who I am, probably not through an advertisement because I don't do a ton of advertising. I make a whole lot more earned content than I make bought content or paid content. When I say paid content, what I mean is advertising. I do a whole lot more earning my way in than buying my way in when it comes to bringing individuals into my orbit, to whether that's you getting my emails, you have bought one of my books before, signed up for a course, hired me, saw me at a speaking gig. All of these things are me earning my way in. Most of them did not come through advertising. And I don't have anything against advertising, but I'm just telling you, most of what I do has been through earned media, not paid media. Marketing, ladies and gentlemen, is simply the relationship that you have between you and your audience. That's all marketing is. Should I say the definition again in case you didn't hear me? Marketing is the relationship between you and your audience. You can build a relationship with an audience through advertising. All right, there are certain ads that you've seen them so many times that you know the name of the person, you know what that product or service is about, you almost know what they're going to say because you've seen the same ad over and over and over again, right? There are billboards you've seen over and over, commercials you've seen over and over, YouTube ads, Instagram ads. You see them over and over and over again. You're familiar with the person. You may even end up following that person or buying something from that person simply because you kept seeing their ad over and over again. That's the whole point of them doing it. All right, so if you did that, they're happy because that's the reason why they pay for the advertising. That's all marketing is. You can shortcut the cycle of marketing, shortcut the marketing cycle by paying for it. Or if you don't want to pay for it, you'd rather earn your way in, then you got to put the time in. You understand that? Many successful Kickstarter campaigns, and everyone knows what Kickstarter is. When people have some project or something that they want to put out there, they get it crowdfunded in exchange for some nice, awesome perks that they're going to give to get their product out into the world. Many successful Kickstarter campaigns, that is the ones that actually get funded, they are launched on the back of course, great products and services, and also great stories and great perks to the people who invest in those products. But also, they are launched on the back of great products, great stories, and the time that is invested by the people who are asking for the money before they start asking for the money. So a great Kickstarter campaign. For those who don't know what Kickstarter is, that's when somebody, let's say I wanted to invent the next glass water bottle, because I think it's bad for people to drink out of plastic, and plastic bottles get thrown into the ocean and they're killing the wildlife in the ocean, and I want to help the environment. So I'm going to create a great glass water bottle that everybody can drink out of. Now, in order for me to manufacture this bottle and sell millions of these bottles, I'm going to need $50,000 in startup money, and I don't have the $50,000 myself. So what I'm going to do, or maybe I even do have it, but I'd rather get it from my audience, because that will not only get me the money I won't have to pull out of my pocket or go into credit or get a loan for, but I'll also have 50,000 customers who are proof of concept that this actually works. And then I'll be able to even sell this bigger, and I can take it on Shark Tank and get a big investment, right? So I'm gonna go on Kickstarter. So on Kickstarter, what I do is I create some video that tells the story of why I'm doing this. Then I tell you the strategy of what I'm going to do. And then I tell you the tactics of how I'm going to get it done. And I'm telling you how you can get involved. You can get involved by investing in this glass water bottle. It's going to cost $30 when it comes out. So here are the ways that you can get involved. You could give $2 and I'll put your name on our website. You can give $10 and I'll give you the name on the website and you'll get a free t-shirt. You can invest $30 and actually we'll make it $25. So you get a little discount on the full price of the bottle. You're going to get the bottle when it comes out, and you're going to get everything else. You're going to get the t-shirt and you're going to get the name on the website. You can invest $50. I'll give you 2 bottles and you'll get the t-shirt and your name on the website, and I'm going to shout you out in the video. You can invest $100. I'll give you 5 bottles. And you'll get everything else that I already said. You can invest $1,000. I'll give you like 100 of these bottles, and you're going to get everything else. You can invest $10,000. You'll get to meet with me one-on-one, be in one of my videos. I'll come to your company, give a live presentation, and you'll get everything else that I mentioned. That's the way Kickstarter works. You can go to the website and look at it, and you can learn more about it. But the whole point of me bringing up Kickstarter is this. When people launch successful Kickstarter campaigns, meaning they actually get funded, because with that Kickstarter, a mythical Kickstarter campaign that I just explained to you, I need to make $50,000. The only way that my campaign is, quote, successful, the success of my campaign, is if I get $50,000 worth of pledges and donations from an audience of people. And this is before they get the thing. They're putting up the money. So if I go, let's say I see that campaign on Kickstarter, I'm like, hey, I want a nice glass bottle to drink water out of. I drink water all day, every day. I'll put up $100. So give me 5 of those bottles and give me all the other perks that come underneath the $100 thing. I'm putting up the $100 knowing that I only get the 5 bottles and all the other things if this campaign gets to $50,000 in donations. Or not donations, but pledges. If it doesn't get funded to $50,000, I just get my $100 sent back to me, and everybody just moves on with their lives. But because I'm invested, I'm gonna tell other people about it, and I want this thing to get backed, because I want my 5 water bottles, and I want these people to produce this product because I think it's a great product. I bought into the story. The main reason that many Kickstarter campaigns become successful and they get the money that they wanted is, yes, they have the story, yes, they have great perks, yes, they have these backers, but because the team that put the Kickstarter out, they invested time with their audience way before they asked for any money. In other words, they were doing a podcast, they had a blog, they had an email list, they were putting YouTube videos out before they were asking for anybody to back anything that they were doing. Now, sometimes they just come out of nowhere and it works, but oftentimes that's not the case. There's time invested. And even the ones that came out of nowhere, I guarantee you they put a whole lot of time into making sure they had the perfect setup of how they were going to run their campaign strategically before they put it out to the world, before you knew anything about it. They put a whole lot of time in before that. Point number 3, today's topic. The key to building relationships in life is time. As the proverb goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. So for those of you who don't have a whole lot of strong relationships, you don't know a whole lot of people. Not a lot of people really know you, but you do need these connections. You do want to make things happen, but you don't know anybody. And you're like, damn, Dre, everything you're saying makes sense, but damn, I don't know anybody. What am I supposed to do? Well, listen, the best thing you could do is have been putting this time in yesterday, but since yesterday is gone, what you can start doing is putting the time in today. If you want to be able to call on your contacts, or you want to actually have contacts to call on, you want to have people who can and will handle things on your behalf just because you ask them to, you got to start planting your seeds right now. And the key to starting in planting your seeds, your relationship seeds in life, is giving value to other people. I made this statement before. I'm going to make it many times again in the future. I'm going to make it again right now. You cannot give what you do not have, ladies and gentlemen. What value do you have to offer the world? That's the question. It's a rhetorical question from me to you, but it's not rhetorical when you take it and ask yourself. Where do you have value to offer other people? When you have an answer to that question, then ask yourself, Who needs this value? Then ask yourself, how do I get it to them? And then start doing it. What are you listening to right now? I figured out a way that I had value to offer the world. I figured out who needed it, and I started giving it to them. That's how you get started in building relationships. And I built a relationship with people who are listening to this show right now. And me and you may have never met in person, but there's a relationship here because I put the time in. And you have put the time in as well. By listening to me, you're putting time in. By me creating this, I'm putting time in. That's how a relationship gets built. And the way that you start is to start. What value do you have to offer? Who needs it? How do I get it to them? And you got plenty of options in all three of those questions. Open-ended questions, ladies and gentlemen. The key to building relationships is to give value. All right. Everybody needs something. Nobody is just all perfect and everything's going great for them. Everybody has needs in life. I don't care how good you think they're doing. Everybody has a hole. Everybody has something, some gap that needs to be filled, some hole that needs to be plugged. Everybody. So you need to take stock of what it is you have to offer, figure out who wants it, and start giving it. If you don't even know who wants it, just start giving it and see who pays attention. All right. That'll answer the question for you. But don't keep score. Don't say, man, I gave all this, I put out all these free videos, but nobody's paying attention. I'm going to just stop doing this. No, don't do that. Don't keep score. Just keep giving until somebody finds it and they pay attention to it. I talked about this in Masterclass 1234. The key to building relationships is you stop keeping score in relationships. Do not keep score. Don't say, I gave this, I paid for this lunch, I paid for this dinner, I gave you that, and when you going to give me something back? If you're keeping score, it's not a relationship, it's a transaction. When you plant enough value seeds, ladies and gentlemen, by giving value to enough people in enough places, at least when that value is good, some of those seeds will sprout and they will grow with time. They'll turn into bamboo trees, okay? But you got to remember to water the seeds. Meaning, you plant your value seeds and then keep paying attention to that value seed. Water that seed. Get rid of the weeds. Not every acorn that falls on the ground becomes an oak tree. Some of those acorns get eaten by the birds. Some of them get stashed away by the squirrels. But if you plant no seeds, you're guaranteed no trees. All right. Some of those acorns will get planted and they will become a tree. All right. How many acorns got to become a tree in 1 yard for that tree to be worth something? All right. Oak trees don't fall down very easily. All right. So you plant 1,000 acorns. Only one of them got to turn into a tree for you to say it was a success. But you got to be planting the value seeds. All right. Not everybody who hears something that I put on YouTube or this masterclass right here says, oh, this guy's amazing, I'm going to subscribe and listen to him again tomorrow. Some people listen to it and say this ain't for me and they move on. That's all right. That's the bird eating one of my acorns. That's the squirrel eating one of my acorns. That's okay. But some of those acorns, they get buried in the dirt and they become oak trees. That's you who's listening to this right now. But if you plant no seeds, you're guaranteed to produce no trees. So you got to plant something in order to get something. Give value to get value. Give no value, it's impossible for you to get value back. Let's recap today's class, which is the key to building relationships was putting in time. People always ask me about connections, Dre. How do I make some connections? How do I know the right people so I can advance? It's a great question to ask, but the fact is, relationships are the relationships are the easiest way to get info, access, help, and your foot in the door for what you're after. But the fact is, those connections are built and paid for with the most valuable resource we all have, which is time. It is not a microwavable thing. Number one, Masterclass 609 tells you the 5 resources to invest with. Time is the most valuable one as it is the least replaceable one. So when you invest time with someone, you are giving the most valuable thing that you cannot get back, and that has the highest ROI of anything you can invest with other people. As Jennifer Lopez said, and love don't cost a thing, I don't need another diamond bracelet. What I'd rather have is you here and giving your time. It is more valuable than anything you could possibly buy me. The same thing with any of you, with your kids, with your parents, with your best friends, with your business partners. If they're not putting time into that relationship, that is the quickest way that a relationship dissolves, is when someone is not putting the time into it, or when a relationship fails to even begin in the first place. Point number 2. In marketing, there are only 2 ways to connect with an audience. One is you can buy your way in through advertising and sponsorships. The other way is to earn your way in through creating valuable material and giving it consistently to an audience of people who want it. Marketing is simply the relationship between you and your audience. That is all it is. You can shortcut that by paying for it, but that's a microwavable relationship. It can end just as quickly as it started, or you can earn your way in by investing time. Point number 3, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. If you want to be able to call on contacts and have people who will handle things on your behalf with just a word from you, start planting your relationship seeds today. The key to starting is to give value to others. Take stock of what you have to offer and start giving it without keeping score. Plant enough value seeds and some of them will sprout and grow with time. Just remember to water those seeds, because not every acorn is going to become an oak tree. Some of them get eaten by birds and squirrels, but you only need one to become a tree for you to be a success. But if you plant no seeds, you're guaranteed no trees. Work on your game. Dre all day.